under a lot of fire for your fist bump with the Crown Prince. Why? I just wanted to give you a chance to respond to that. But also, how can you be sure that another incident, Prince? Why? I just wanted to give you a chance to respond to that. But also, how can you be sure that another incident like Jamal Khashoggi's won't happen again?
Well, God love you. What a silly question. How could I possibly be sure of any of that? I just made it clear, if anything occurs like that again, they'll get that response and much more.
Gas prices, if I may, you said that we'll see relief at some point in the not too distant future. What is the message to Americans who are looking for that relief now? When should they expect to see a real change in prices, though they've already been coming down?
Change.
They've already been coming down.
That's right. They've been coming down every single day, to the best of my knowledge.
When will we see the impact of this visit?
I suspect you won't see that for another couple weeks. And we'll see more when we see gas stations start to lower their price consistent with what they're paying for the oil. We had a good discussion on ensuring global energy security and adequate oil supplies to support global economic growth, and that will begin shortly. I'm doing all I can to increase the supply for the United States of America, which I expect to happen. The Saudis share that urgency. And based on our discussions today, I expect we'll see further steps in the coming weeks. I'll take a couple questions now.
Mr. President, what was the Crown Prince's response to your comments about Khashoggi?
He basically said that he was not personally responsible for it. I indicated I thought he was. He said he was not personally responsible for it, and he took action against those who were responsible. And then I went on to talk more about how that dealing with any opposition to or criticism of the Saudi administration in other countries was viewed as...
The question that keeps coming up again and again is that the messages that we've received from all levels of the White House and Treasury have been wrong. So how did you all get this so wrong?
Well, Martha, the things that the White House and the Treasury Department were saying last year, and I can't stress this enough, reflected the overwhelming economic consensus in the private sector in the U.S. and other places around the world.
Climate, Joe Manchin obviously made significant news right now, which appears to be torpedoing what was one of your biggest priorities as it relates to energy and to climate back at home. Your message to those Americans right now who are looking for that relief that would have a wide impact as it affects the climate and energy specifically.
I am not going away. I'm going to use every power I have as president to continue to fulfill my pledge to move toward dealing with global warming. Thank you,
Mr. President, is Joe Manchin negotiating in good faith?
I didn't negotiate with Joe Manchin. I have no idea.
So my question to you is, when you saw that was happening, right? So Delta starts to hit. We've got a couple $1 trillion in stimulus that has gone in. So we're seeing an increase in demand based on that. And you see the supply chain start to dry up. So why didn't that set off inflation alarm bells and say, we got to pull back. We've got to pull back on the stimulus, and we maybe have to start to increase interest rates here. That message could have come from the Fed. So you had a lot of warning with the things that you're talking about, and we were told, oh, it's just going to be over by the end of the year. It's going to be over in a couple of months. But none of that turned out to be true, based on all the things that we all could see.
No, actually, that's not right. And I will tell you again that in June, July, people did not see the impact of Delta. As that happened, everybody in the world has had to deal with this. And the United States, if you were paying attention, President Biden was on it fast with a supply chain task force.
And I think you'll see it change sooner than quicker, than more rapidly than it will take, than most people think.
He had a chance to talk to some of these migrants from Venezuela, and they are thanking President Biden. Take a listen.
He's a good president with so much help that he's given us. It's been very difficult what's happened to us. Our trip has been very hard. Thank God we're here. We thank you for receiving us and treating us well.
It hasn't been that long ago when, under a previous administration, the Obama administration, with Joe Biden as his vice president, where Energy Secretary Stephen Chu said in a hearing, somehow we have to figure out how to boost the price of gasoline to the levels in Europe. Now, later he had to walk that back because of the backlash. But the issues that we're facing today, that every American is facing today, is not new. This is not accidental. This is intentional. This is a desire of the left to shape the behavior of Americans because of their radical energy policies.